Okay, this is from a show called The Haunting of Hill House. Came out in 2018. I remember when it came out. I really didn't watch it, didn't care to, even though everybody said it was awesome. I'm just sort of over the haunted house stuff and this Haunting of Hill House. I've seen this movie 1,000 times because I have The Legend of Hill House. I have that. I have The House on Haunted Hill. I have The Haunting of Hill House, which is a movie that came out by the guy who made Speed, the guy who directed Speed a long time ago, and Liam Neeson and Owen Wilson and all them. And so I was like, I've seen this movie 1,000 times. I don't really care about watching this television show on Netflix. And so then here we are 4 years later, and I was led to watch it after all. So I just want to set the scene here. And here's the thing. I don't plan on doing these videos. It's like, look, because I don't want to have to go to download these things and go through the trouble of having to get these clips and everything started out. So it's kind of annoying sometimes if I got a lot going on. This was incredible. I probably would have done it anyway. But I absolutely take it as like a sign. Because it's like, look, if you want me to talk about this, because there's like 11 episodes per season. And each episode is around about an hour long. So we're talking 11 hours for the whole thing, just about, right? And so it's just like, look, if this scene, if I can just quickly, easily find this scene on YouTube, I'll make this video. And wouldn't you know it, here's everything I need in this one scene right here. Just right here. Just right here. So I take that as a sign because I just told you 11 hours. But I type in exactly what I need, and here it is. Almost everything. It's close enough. That's why I got two clips. About 2 minutes and 45 seconds specifically set aside for me out of 11 hours some show. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll make the video. Sounds good to me. So this is how the clip starts up. There's a pair of sisters. All right, and they're about to get scared and pull off the road. It's important just so you can see. Here you go.
Not making excuses.
Okay, then they pull off the side of the road. Because that lady's dead, that's their dead sister, and they're like at her funeral, and then she goes and runs off, and then that one comes out, and then she has this one here, has this breakdown, okay? And as again, remember, this is a pair of sisters, right? So let's watch this, and this is our mom's greatest fear. One of them, anyway. There's only two of them. This is one of them. This one takes precedence over all of it. Here it is.
I had to know, and I touched her. And I felt nothing. Nothing. And it spread everywhere in me, this nothing, until I couldn't feel anything anymore. I was just this dark, empty, black hole. And I tried to fill it up. I tried to fill me back up, and I called Trish, and she came right away, and I felt nothing. And then I tried to mourn at the wake, and I felt nothing. And so I drank, and nothing worked. I couldn't feel anything. Shirley, after I touched her skin, I couldn't feel anything. And then we're in the basement, and the lights go out. And I can't see. And I can't feel. And I'm just floating in this ocean of nothing. And I wonder if this is it, if this is what death is, just out there in the darkness, just darkness and numbness and alone. And I wondered if that's what she felt, and that's what Mom
And I wonder if that's what Mom feels.
feels, and it's just numb and nothing and alone.
Okay, and don't you think this is wild? Could you hear that person coughing? So someone somewhere saw this, ripped it on a camcorder. Someone's coughing in the background. And it's all subtitled. I mean, so I was like, okay, I'll tell, because I'd love to tell the story anyway. And so that's one of Mom's greatest fears. Because, is it just me? When creation began, is it just me? Is it just me out there, nothing else, just me? And it's not. And it's so funny because that's why they're telling this the way it is. You see how her sister is there the whole time? You see that? She's not by herself, but the point I was trying with the show with the car here, okay, so that happened. The car's off to the side of the road. An old girl here is standing, she's standing like right here. They show this after this breakdown here of this lady has this, her name, we'll get to the name even later. So she's on the ground here. She's crying like right here. The other sister's right here. And all this breakdown's going on. You know, is it just me? Is there just, like, I just feel nothing? Is there just nothing out there? Is it just me floating around? Nothing. And the answer, clearly, as they show you, is no. Because the good news is There's two of you. The bad news is there's two of you. And so this is to represent, because you see how one's kneeling and then you see how one is standing, right? She's kneeling and she's standing. They're showing how there's two, the polar opposites, the North Pole and the South Pole, two halves that make a whole, okay? And as you, this is what's so funny about it. It's not funny, but it is. As you can clearly see, look this poor mom. She's she's, I mean, bawling her eyes out, this, that, and the other. And then you have, let's just call her Sirius B. Let's call her Sirius B, because remember, it all starts with Sirius, but Sirius is a star system. It's not just one star. There's actually Sirius A, B, and C. C's called Digitaria, but no one knows anything about it, even including the doggone, so we just don't even really worry about that. Sirius A and Sirius B. Look it up. Even astronomy tells you that. So here's Sirius B on her knees, crying, screaming, throwing a fit. And then here's Sirius A, her sister, her mom, whatever you want to call her, aunt, whatever, sister. She's just standing there quiet, right? And as you can see, she clearly feels, because her eyes are welling up. And then after this whole breakdown happens, there's this shot that pulls back, and you see Sirius A here just hold up her arm, outstretch her arm, be like, hey, let's go. And that's pretty much how the scene ends. So I would imagine that after you've been separated from, and you've been gone away from home for so long, like all of us, your mind plays tricks on you, and everybody's got these fears that have come out due to the separation. I'm sure that if you express yourself and you are this, and your sister is just sitting there staring at you like this, shows no emotion, doesn't express herself, I'm sure it feels like nothing. And that's what you remember. You remember it being you being real high energy, and then this low like nothing, right? Because the nothing came from something, but people think that nothing means nothing when nothing had a face. So that goes to show, and even in the old books, one of the books I have in there, it literally talks about this. It doesn't talk about what I'm telling you. I can't remember which word it uses, but if it uses mother, it uses creation, and maybe even use God. It breaks the word down to how it tells you, like, it means companion. Like there's always something else there. So, and this is why the sun was made. Because mom wanted to feel something other than this chill. This just, Because, I mean, imagine how that feels. Imagine if you're on your knees throwing a fit to somebody, and then you're just looking up at your sister or your mother or your family member, and they're just kind of looking at you, and make you kind of feel a little insecure. So that's why mom made the sun, because she wanted to feel this energy, this warmth, all this from something else other than herself. This relationship, this dynamic is explored in so many different movies. One of my favorites is Private Parts with Howard Stern. In that movie, okay, if you the shock jock Howard Stern, Mr. I'm high energy, I ain't afraid to say nothing. His sidekick is a dude named Fred, and Fred doesn't say much. Fred's real quiet and everything. And in the movie, which is an autobiography of Howard Stern's life, in the movie, when Howard Stern meets Fred and they start to work together, this I'm quoting from the movie now. I've seen it so many damn times. Howard says, "Fred's cool. I think I like him. I think he likes me. Who knows? Because I've used this line my whole life. He's like wallpaper. It's hard to get a read on him." And so there's this whole dynamic of how there's this North Pole, South Pole, these two polarities, but they're both parts of the same whole. So I would imagine that you would think and remember and wonder and fear, like, gosh, is it just me out there all alone? Because that's kind of what it felt like, because your sister's a flatliner. And here's the thing, energy can only be transferred. It can't be destroyed. So there's no going back. There's no going back to a time of just nothing. It's not possible. That's why your upper lip has the dent on it. If you watch the movie The Prophecy with Christopher Walken, he plays the angel of death. He tells you where the dent on your mouth came from, on your upper lip, where that came from. And then if you read the old text, I can't remember if Sumerian or Babylonian, it's the oldest Sumerian or Babylonian text, can't remember which one it's called, I read it 2 years ago, called the Enuma Elish, you find out that's a real story. So that story in itself shows there ain't no coming back. Because if there was, then they wouldn't have modified the body. They just would have just restarted all over again. But no, mom modified the body because apparently there was no going back to the nothing, to the nobody, to the solitude. This is also explained and explored in the TV show The Mysterious Benedict Society. It's a Disney show. This came out like 2 years ago. It's pretty new, and it's kind of like the X-Men, where there's like a bunch of gifted kids, but they're not like supernatural X powers. They're just really, really smart, and they're all trained in this like school, and it's run by this dude. And each of the in the chosen one, there's two heroes. There's a black kid and a white kid. Again, to show the polarity, and to prove how gifted you are, they go through the chosen ones or go through a test. Imagine that. And when it comes down to the two heroes, the black kid and the white kid, they're sat in a room. They're asked to divulge their greatest fear. And so the white kid, you know what the white kid says? The same thing as Sirius B, the mom you just saw. I'm afraid it's just me. There's nothing, nada, zilch. Just me out there and all the nothing. It'll eventually end to just that, just me and the nothing. And then they go to the black kid and they say, hey, what's your fear? Your greatest fear? And he goes, you know what? Not that. And now I'm quoting for the show. My greatest fear is not being wanted. Not being wanted at all. And that fear comes from this mother, because all this mother heard was, I need something else. I don't want you. You're too much of a buzzkill for me. That's what she heard whenever the son was made, because the other mom, Sirius B, wanted to experience something from, again, I want to feel this warmth, this energy from something else other than myself. Cool, I still got a few minutes. And so this sister here, her name is Theo. That is the O. The Alpha and the Omega. Okay? So there's really two fears, but neither one of them that's all they are. That's all they are. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. That's all there is. And they're telling you right here. And it's just amazing. I mean, so there you go. From a 2018 haunted house show to Private Parts to a Disney television show to The Prophecy with Christopher Walken. I can line it all up, connect all the dots, explain it all, and even an old book. Actually, two books. One called Jesus and the Lost Goddess, and the other one called the Enuma Elish. Isn't that fun? What have you done for love today? Oh, and one more thing. That's the whole reason. And it's a video I've never released except for on one of like a social media platform I don't use that much. I think I might even put it out on 9/23 or June 23rd, assuming the lights are still on. But that's the whole one of the stories of Uranus, and why Gaia created Uranus is because she wanted to be held by something on all sides. At the end of this whole breakdown, it's no kidding. That's why it's funny. It's like that girl's crying here on her knees, and the other mom's just standing there like that, and she just outstretches her arm, and that's it. So it's like, okay, so can you imagine? It's like, okay, cool breakdown, but the car's running. Can we go? So I would imagine, again, it feels like nothing's there when you're getting nothing out of your other. So that's why the son was made. I love my mothers. They're crazy, though. I accept that. And it's no big deal. I'm crazy, too. All right, that's seriously the end. I'm going to leave now.